Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, today's a day that we go to the top of the workshop because it's Monday and check out the top performing map of the moment, and it's this one. There's going to be a few of you that really like this one. It's got a lot going for it. I have one major grumble. It is only a grumble. The map still works fine, but it distracts me too much to say that I'm okay with it. What I am okay with, though, is giving you a little gift. I'm going to give you all this. You might want to pause the video in a moment before the video really gets started. And head on over, link is in the description, to BonBonBingo. Pick yourself up a BonBonBingo card, just for fun, no prizes. Full of all of the memes of the show. You'll be screaming for me to shout out Jinky Janky or something like that to cross off a line. Let's have some fun, shall we? That's ongoing from now on in. Meanwhile, let's start off the show with one of these. That's right, the daily reminder will never be on the bingo card because it's in every show. That'd be boring. Thanks for your support. Today's map is Alpen Mountains Map, or Alpen Mountains by mr.pixelcat. I love the thumbnail. The thumbnail works so good and the white really pops against the dark. I love that. Terrain heights, lots of flat buildable space and some spindly mountains. Looks good. Resources good and strong as well. Oil in the mountain there. It might be a little bit hard to get to the oil possibly. And then if you've got Sunset Harbour and want to do some fishing, we have all of the fish, including some tuna up in the reservoir. Off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, it's a mass transit map. You will need mass transit for this one, and that will be on some people's bingo cards. We have a one-click collection as well, which we'll look at in just a moment. We'll be using the Laviante 2.0 map theme and the Relight 3 soft LUT. And then you have a few things down here to subscribe to, including a selection of trees. I do like the selection of trees today. Also, some rock sheds. We'll be seeing those, so we'll have a look at those later. The Railway Replacer mod as well, which is, I mean, it's a must-have. I don't know why people don't just have that automatically anyway. But yeah, the Railway, well, I do know. Many reasons, like RAM or things like that. But yes, if you've got a system that can run a few mods, grab that Railway Replacer mod. You'll have beautiful railways. You still have to make them beautiful, obviously, with beautiful, slick, level lines and not roller coasters. But if you want to make roller coasters, they're going to look amazing too. Right, okay, down the ground level at Alpen Mountains. Now, this is based, if I remember rightly, Lake Geneva, I think so, based upon that area. And they've used a photo editor to copy and paste in some mountains here and there. And it works. It absolutely works. I love this. I love the feel and the vibe. The mix of trees as well is something as well. Before I go any further, see this central barrier down the middle here? I think this was causing some early problems without going and have a closer look. It's a network being used as a central barrier. It does waver a little bit between two highways. Not absolutely perfect. The parallel road tool probably would have been better enabled with that. But thanks to Cuboid, yeah, that Cuboid. Oh, hang on, we've got a little bit of a rock clipping through the highway there. Minor little grumble there. Easy to fix. But yeah, thanks to Cuboid, the modder, without whom? Is it who or whom? I should know. Without who? We've got another tree that looks like it's a bit troublesome there. Not actually in the highways, but it looks a bit troublesome. Yeah, without Cuboid, we wouldn't be having half as much fun these days. We're talking about a modder that has really helped to improve the game. These are those rock sheds, just to protect from rock falls, from these the old Park Life rocks. So you don't need Park Life; you'll have access to these in base game as well, which is nice. But yes, Cuboid picked up on the fact that there was a missing network causing the map to break, and Mr. Pixelcat has updated the workshop. It's all the one-click collection even, and it's all good. I cannot fault. I mean, yes, mistakes happen, and mistakes are being put right before I got to see the mistake. So personally, I'm okay. And if you've not seen this map before, there's your start square there, by the way. If you've not seen this map before, then it's already fixed before you get to see it as well. So thanks to Cuboid, and thanks also to Mr. Pixelcat, not just for a really strong map and some decent networks, because they are decent networks, but also for responding to some critique and getting it fixed urgently. I mean, what more can we ask of creators, huh? Yeah, we none of us are infallible. I say none of us. I'm thinking of one or two that are virtually infallible, but inflammable. Why is it inflammable and flammable both mean the same thing? And to not be flammable must be uninflammable. This is a thought for the day. That's not out of my factoids book. I've got a really good one today out of that factoid book. You know, some of them I know are a bit dated, and yes, question marks are asked. Why do I read facts out of an 80s factoid book? And it's because I've got them and I've been hanging on to them for years, and it's about time I used them for something. And I've got probably about maybe a year's worth left in there. What I'm going to do after that, I have no clue. I'll probably resort to using just a current factoid website. Following the highway here, we're going running parallel with the rail as well. Looks really good around here, doesn't it? Again, but yes, what to do? Well, I think, do you know what? Let's worry more about that one when we get close to the book. When I get down to the last dozen pages, I'll let you know, and then maybe you guys at that point, don't do it now because I will lose it. I'm a year away, but when we get close to it, maybe you could start thinking about what your recommendations would be for factoids, because factoids, it'd be nice to continue it, even though I know it's not the most popular part of the show. I know there are a few of you that really enjoy it, so I'm going to keep it going. I enjoy it. I learn something some days. I forget most of them within 24 hours, but which is why that mosquito factoid got read twice. I completely forgot I'd read it. Anyway, rail. We've got good slick rail. Considering we've got mountains on the go as well. There's no real uppy downiness going on with these ones, so that is something. There's no lumpy bumpiness, and that is also something. And it's also lumpy bumpy is something you might find on your bingo card. And me saying there's no lumpy bumpiness, actually that still counts as me saying lumpy bumpy. So you can cross it off if you got it. Unless, of course, you choose that is, I've got to say it and it's got to be there, maybe. There are no rules with BonBonBingo. There are no prizes either, for that matter, but that's by the by. You're a winner just by playing. And do shout out in the comments as to how close you got. Did you get a line? Were you waiting on me to say jinky janky? Throwing another one in for free. Anyway, we got Railbridge. Very slick looking Railbridge. I have no grumbles with that. Very happy with that indeed. Got this though. It's obviously a branch line. Yeah, we've got that growing out the rails, but other than that, the rail is very slick. There are some angles where the trains won't be able to get to because of the way that the line is set up, so do have a little look at the top down before putting down your factories and stuff like that, just to be sure. Like here, this one splits and you can't get back up the other way. So just give it a little. I don't think it makes it unplayable, and this isn't my major grumble with today's map. That is to come a little bit later. But it's something just to consider, because if you're especially if you're planning a domestic route from one station to another and there's no link, well, that might be a problem. So just give it a little bit of thought. Not every line connects to every other line in a way that you can use. Right, we've got some trees encroaching quite close to the railway line here, so there's bound to be one along here. Let's have a look here. Yes, that is literally shocking. Literally shocking. Yeah, and there's going to be a few more. We'll take a glance at another random one now. It's even lower there. So yes, there might be a few trees that you might want to budge. Again, doesn't affect the game mechanics at all. It's just an aesthetic thing. If you're going to be doing any building out here, you probably won't care at all about it. If you're looking for perfection in the map though, then that is just a little something to mark it down on. And the rail little level crossing there, and we're heading off towards the edge of the map. So what we'll do is we'll take an intermission. This is an intermission, might give you a clue towards what my major grumble on today's map is. Here's your clue.
Are you struggling with water physics in the game? Are you constantly drowning and flooding your soggy little sins? Then you need the Beginner's Guide to Water Physics by BonBonB. Click the information button now.
And so back to Alpen Mountains by mr.pixelcat. And we'll start with the air route rather than the shipping route, because the air route is very obvious. It goes right across the map on the diagonal. You can stick an airport down here somewhere, everything will be good. What about shipping routes? We have got a big lake at the bottom of the river. And it could be that Lake Geneva could handle an amount of shipping. Do you think? I think that would be a nice touch. Let's go have a little look for a shipping route. And the answer to your question is there is right here. Oh, look, we've got a couple of sunken ships. Now, if you can just avoid going, just stick to the shipping route, yeah? And stop veering off and you won't end up going across the land like that. Unless, of course, the shipping route goes up onto the land like this. Now, I don't see this really as being a problem. I can't see there's really any combination of harbour position that's going to end up with your shipping going up that final little stretch there. But it is still technically an error. Right, okay, let's have a look at this water flow. We've got a reservoir with a couple of water spawns. We'll have a look at those in a moment when we come back in for the flyover. And the water flowing away from the dam, that seems weird. And then we have downstream, strong downstream. Let's go to the start square. Is it still flowing downstream? It is. So this works, yeah? Although it seems a bit weird, why is it going off in that direction and not maybe going down towards the lake? I'm thinking that should go down towards the lake. Let's head back upstream from the lake then. So the water flows downstream into the lake, and then it flows upstream towards there. Somewhere around here is a spawn point. That's weird. I don't know why we need the spawn point there. And then it all flows off towards the edge of the map there. Then we're flowing upstream here. And then we've got a tributary stream coming off of the mountain there, which splits both ways. And it's going upstream there, and it's another area there, and then going upstream towards the dam here. Oh, a spawn point there. Let's have a look at these spawn points. So we've got one there. What we got at the top? In the reservoir, we've got... Well, I don't know why we've got as many as that. Then we've got one at the bottom of the dam. That's fine, I understand that. One there, I kind of understand that. I don't know why we really need any more beyond this point, because if you've got water flow coming down these rivers and the streams coming off the mountain, there should be enough water to keep this flowing. All of these spawn points are just causing confusion to me, and that for me is my big grumble with the map. I find the water flow it flows well enough to use. Let's not complain about usability. It's just confusing to me. Right, okay, let's have a look at some things, shall we? I'm loving the shape. The shape of the map is exquisite. The mountains are spindly. They're big without being too big and without being too small. I mean, perfect size, I would say. Here's a little view from over here. The trees on today's map, I like in the mix of trees as well. There's probably a better location, like the spindliness of the trees going on there. We'll find somewhere as a better view. We also have the dam over here as well. Maybe, actually, let's have a look at the dam while we're in this area. So yeah, the dam, happy with that. We've got the spawn point at the bottom. We've got these two spawn points here with the glitchy water, which is really very odd. Again, well away from the 25 tiles, so you probably, if you're playing base game rules, would never notice that. But it still seems very odd to me. This rail bridge, I think we've used the wrong rail bridge there, to be fair. Let's ignore the rail bridge. Let's have a look at the spawns. Now, I don't mind the idea of this, where you get water like spawning out the side of a mountain with some rocks around it to make it look like a spring. I kind of buy into that. It can be a bit glitchy though because of the vanilla rocks. And I think this one, if we get to the top here, does get a bit glitchy. Yeah, it's just a lot of water pouring out of nowhere. It's very high up as well for that amount of water. This one's even higher. Really high up, right near the peak. And also, we've got a drowned tree. Yes, he's wearing his trunks. Another one for the bingo card. Some of you will have it. Not all of you, some of you. And then if we head downstream, we'll find a few more. Where are they? There they go. Couple in the water there. So this is, there aren't that many on the map. It's mostly focused on that one river there. Now we've been here. I don't know why I've saved that one as a location. We do have that. Okay, these trees. If you have a look at the shape of this tree. Oh, not but really a big fan of the trees growing out of bare rock face. But these trees have been just spammed using a tree brush which has that exact same shape there. Can't really make it out there. There is somewhere else. Oh, actually a bit further along. So you got that one there and then the exact same shape going on there. So it looks good, but it just doesn't really work for me at the next level. It works to a good level, but not a great level. We have these rock sheds, which got the street lights clipping through the top of them. That would be easy to fix. If you're going to play any kind of modded game, you're going to have network skins, which means you'll be able to change the street lamps for something else, or even completely remove them. So there is an option for you there. And yeah, bridges, I want to point this one out. This one I really quite like. This combination of bridges running this distance from each other, I think they complement each other quite nicely, even if one doesn't have a pillar in the middle. And, ooh, everybody loves a big old bridge, don't they? A big old rail bridge. This is very nice. Great view as well down into the valley through those arches. Now, via the magic of YouTube, I've accidentally flooded the valley. Don't ask how I did that one. Just accidentally clicked on the water spawn and we ended up with water. But we're not going back over that way, so it doesn't matter. That was a BonBon problem. Don't lose me a star. Don't lose this creator a star. Now, Start Square intersection, we have got a little bit of glitching through the roads there of the trees under the road. And then if you go down to the Start Square, we have an asset of the day. This one is currently, at the time of speaking, #1 on the workshop. It's very rare I get to do the actual #1 on the workshop because I'm normally recording 2 or 3 days in advance. But I think it's going to be #1 tomorrow as well. The US Air Force Academy Chapel by nilepereiraa. Nilepereiraa. Factoids. I did promise you a good one today, and I think we have got a good one today. If the contents of all of the oceans were evenly distributed amongst us, every person on this earth, spelt with a lowercase c, dear me, every person on this earth would receive over 100 billion gallons of water. If that doesn't make you want to go for a wee, I don't know what will. Okay, we're getting slightly less now, of course, because of overpopulation. We've got another 2 billion people on this earth since that was printed. That's a lot of extra people. But we have got extra water in the oceans because of global warming. So there is that. It's not a good thing. Either one of those are for populations or global warming. US Air Force Academy Chapel by nilepereiraa. That is really lovely. Really like it. That's excellent work. Top work. The best Air Force chapel you're gonna see today on What's Map. Promise you. Right, okay, I think we're nearly done. Let's find a location and ask you what you think of today's map. Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now in the top right corner of your screen or the link in the description. Take you to the voting page where you can vote for free with a Facebook, Apple, Gmail or a Patreon account. Well, what do I think of today's map? Well, I really like this one. I'm not going to edit that out because I've got time. I'm just going to take my time. Aesthetically, I really like this. I think it could be polished to another level, like with the trees. I think the trees could be done to an extra level, but I still think it's a 4-star map. I'm going to go right down the middle with 4 stars. Detailing, it feels like a 4-star map, but I can't really give it. There are a few bits and pieces that just need tweaking to bring it up to that kind of level. I'm going to go for a very high 3. And I'm going to do exactly the same with gameplay potential. I really like this one. I think it's very playable. There's no problems with it, apart from I'm really distracted by that water flow. And it would distract too much. So I'm going to go for a very high 3 on that one. Very playable. Some of you won't care. Alpen Mountains by mr.pixelcat is a very lush, lovely Alpen map that feels like an Alpen map should feel like. I just want better rivers. I do. I think actually having them all coming out of that one mountain as well just feels a bit weird. I'd like to see maybe dropping off 1 or 2 of the other hills in the distance. But anyway, that's enough of that one. Water always flows down, as should your word of the day. Use it in the comments for some population points and show you're part of the 20 and now elite. And I'll be back tomorrow with another What's Map. Thanks for watching.